Hey, how you going today? Hope you've had an awesome weekend and got to catch up with some friends and things like that as we starting to let the restrictions go. So, yeah, Blimmin, got to hang out and got to do heaps of exercise, and a couple of nice hikes on the weekend. Blimmin, got out there and enjoyed the bush. And yeah, it was lovely. It was quite funny going for our walk up in the bush. It was like blooming downtown. There's so many people up there, and we were watching the etiquette of bushwalking. Um, some people would wobble along really slowly and hold everyone up, and you know, some of them didn't realise that you can step to the side and let people that are going faster pass. And then other people were running it, and it was a lovely day. What do you guys find when you go out? Do you find that people, when they're out in the bush, where there are lots of people out there, happy just being out and about and having a good time? Yeah, the old car park's getting full, and good to see the coffee shops up there up at these places starting to get people coming. So yeah, what do you guys get up to? Let us know whether you went to the beach or hiking or just did some gardening or hanging out and chilling. Yeah, so today what I want to look at is creating change requires consistent, committed a commitment to yourself. And one of the big things that we look at, one of the biggies I would tend to notice is, we say, yeah, I want to get this change, I want to do this, and you get all fired up and you get all committed and you put a lot of conscious effort into it, and so your conscious mind is focusing on what you're wanting to do and how you're wanting to change. Yet, we've got to remember that our conscious mind only has up to 5% of the attention. 95% of our what's actually really going on is unconscious. And so, knowing this, we know that when we keep our mind, and how many of you guys have tried this, tried to change something, and you go along good, and then it all just falls away. It's like, say you're trying to lose weight or something, and you say, I'm not going to eat those chippies, or I'm not going to eat chocolate or whatever, and then you find yourself at the end of a bag of, just finished a bag of potato chips. And you ask yourself the question, gee, how come I can't stay committed to myself? What is it that what is it that stops me from making the change? Because it can be really painful at times that we want to change, yet we don't know how to change. And it's like this old behavior and this old habit just keeps running through, and we know it's not good for us. Yet we can't seem to get over the hump. And it's that hump that causes the resistance, because it's just it's an old behavior, it's an old habit, and there's an old belief in there and an old perception of, well, this is okay because this is where I want to be. And we know our unconscious mind, or you may not know, but the will keep us safe, will keep us doing the same old program unless we begin to have a look at actually what's going on. And it comes down to this place of, well, hold on, how badly do you want to change? What is it that you actually wanting to do, and how badly, and what's the benefits of the change? Because if there's no benefit, then do you think you're going to stick to it? If you can only associate pain to it, well, yeah, pain will push you out of it for a certain extent, but as soon as the pain lets go and you're not in pain anymore, you'll tend to find that you go back into the same old pattern because there's no motivation. And it's about, hold on, what is it that I actually want to do? Where do I actually want to end up? Where do I want to become? Who do I want to become? How will that be better for me? How will that be better in my life for me? How will I be able to, what will it give me? What will it give me, this new way of being? You know, and the desire and the part of it that is going to give you has to have some, juice there to get you to get out of your old motivations to create that consistency to want to change. Now, a lot of people, what we do is we try to take two bigger steps. Right, I'm going to get myself fit, or I'm going to work really hard, and you go flat out, but it's not you can't contain it. It's like you can go like that for a while, but then you fall away because you burn yourself out. Now, what we've got to look at is go, well, hold on, how can I make this change? And we've got to chunk it down into good bite-sized pieces. Okay, so this is my first step. This is my end goal over here. But to get there, I need to get that. To get there, I need to get that. To get there, I need to get that. And to get there, I need to get that. Great, you've got a pathway. You've got a plan on what you're going to do. And what we do is we chunk it backwards so we can give ourselves little goals along the way. And once we get these little goals, good, here's my first marker. Good, I got to there. Got to there. Got to there, good. And then what happens is that consistency will then begin to build up in the strength inside of ourselves, and we'll get to, before long, we know we achieve our goal. But a lot of the time what we do is we try to get there too quickly. So the first step that I want to share with you about achieving the goal is acknowledge or admit that you want to change. And this is a biggie. Because a lot of us, we get, oh, yeah, I want to change. But do you really? When you acknowledge it and admit to yourself that you want to change, that you want this new way of being, something will click in you. But you have to admit it. Yeah, otherwise, it's just a nice, oh, that'd be nice. Well, I'd like to lose weight. Or I'd like a better job. Or I'd like more money. But you're just like a floppy old fish on the ground. You're just kicking around a bit. You're a bit like the old bloodhound sitting out on the deck, and every now and then it puts up a big old and it goes and the guy, you come over and say, well, what's the matter with your dog? And he says, he's laying on a nail, but it doesn't hurt enough for him to get up and move off it. And where are you like that? But when we admit and acknowledge to ourselves that, no, I want to move, I want to change, we can actually then start to put the strategies in place to help us. Now, the second step, and this one, we do our external steps, but a lot of people miss this step because it's one of the most important things. This step here is the step where I see people heal themselves. This is where I watch people with an illness and they've got a sore back, I've got something going on. And they've been to every chiro and every physio or been to every doctor and nothing seems to be helping. When I give them this step, it's one of the biggest steps that makes the change in their life. And this key here is to turn the problem over to your unconscious mind, which knows the most effective solution or way out. Now, when I talk about handing the problem over to your unconscious mind, it already knows. Your essence already knows what's going on, where you're at. It already knows. It sees you keep running into that post. It just sees you doing it all the time. It's watching. But when you hand the problem over or what you're wanting to create over to it, it'll show you, hey, Doug, if you keep running into here, you're going to keep getting this sore head. Take a step to the right of it and go through there. It'll show you your steps. But the thing is, you have to pay attention here. You have to pay attention to listening to what you need to do. And one of the best times to turn the problem over to your unconscious is just before you go to sleep. You ask your unconscious mind to show you the step, your next step, or the solution to creating the change that you want. What's my next step to help me achieve my goal of doing the next goal? What's the next step? And then you just go to sleep like that. And you've handed it over to the unconscious mind or to the universal God, whichever you want to call it. And as you do that, you just rest. And this is step 3. You rest with a sense of deep conviction that it is done. So you have a knowingness that your unconscious mind, your soul, your essence, God, whatever you want to call it, knows how to help you take the next step to achieve that goal. When you do that, what happens for you is you'll come up and you'll wake up in the morning, or you'll get an insight and you'll go, God, okay, I'm going to go for a run. Or maybe I need to rest today. Or maybe I need to make a phone call. Geez, what would happen if I did that? What would happen if I had a salad instead of a burger? You know, what would happen if I made that phone call to that business? And you just allow yourself to take that step. So these 3 steps help us stay focused on what we're doing. So remember, the first step is to acknowledge and admit that you want to change, that you actually do want to change. And when you acknowledge and admit to yourself that you want to make the change and that you're sick of being where you are and you want to make the change, it'll be either through pain or be full of pleasure of knowing that's what you want to do. The pain will only get you so far. And it's in the attachment, it's the stepping into where you want to go. Then when we turn the problem over to our unconscious mind, we actually get out of the way. Because if you try and do it with your head thinking that you're going to be able to sort the problem out, you're using the old memory and the old programs that created the problem in the first place. It's like moving the chairs around on the Titanic. Well, it can look different for a while. Well, yeah, great. Hey, the chair looks great here. All right, let's move them over here. The sucker's still going down. The sucker's going to sink. It doesn't matter how you make it look or how you move your thoughts around in your mind. It doesn't matter. And when you look at it and you go you become aware that it's got to be something, you've got to do something different, you've got to look in a different place, you go into the unconscious mind and you allow the answer to come to you. And then you be open and willing to take action on it. You take the action step and move forward. And then the third step there was rest with a sense of deep conviction that it is done. You sit in the knowingness that you have already achieved it. You sit in the gratitude of already being that expression. Now, people say to me, "Oh, Doug, how sit in the gratitude?" I sit in the gratitude. I've got the gratitude. I'm gonna have this house, or I'm gonna have this new car. And, it feels so exciting. And it's all yumma, yumma, yumma. Oh yes, yeah. That's not gratitude. That's wishful thinking. A lot of bollocks. The way we sit in gratitude is a feeling tone. And the feeling tone is sitting in the gratitude that you have already achieved this change, is there is a knowingness of certainty inside of yourself. And that knowingness, here's a tip, that knowingness is just like, think about it. How do you know what it feels like for the sun to come up? Do you have a knowingness that the sun will come up every day? What does that feel like? Is that all exciting? Or is it just, just is? Yeah, it's that knowingness. And that's the knowingness you need for having the change of achieving your goal, of achieving that change you want to do. Yeah, I just got this knowingness that I'm going to kick this. I know I'm going to do it. It's just this boom. Don't mess with me. This is certainty inside of myself. And it's not a force, and it's not a It's just it's just this quiet strength that sits inside of you. And when you sit with conviction with that quiet strength, and you go about the steps that you're getting shown, the change will happen. And along the way, you're probably going to fall back into the old behavior a little bit, but you'll catch yourself, bring yourself back. It's like spiritual teachers who used to teach me, goes, don't worry when you find yourself not being conscious, not being aware, because as soon as you catch yourself there, you're already back. So why go back into the past and worry about it? Just stay present where you are now and just move forward. And so these simple little steps help us get over that little hump to achieve the new way of being. Because all it is just a little hump. And what we're doing, it's a boundary condition. We're pushing up against it. And we keep pushing up against. Sometimes we bounce over, but we can't hold it and it pulls us back. But through these steps, it gives you that inner guidance. Okay, guys, hope that gives you some insights. Let us know how you go. Let us know if you're being like the old bloodhound sitting on the porch howling at the pain, but you don't know how to get up and change. Or let us know what are the little steps. When you chunk it down and get these steps in place, life becomes very simple. Okay, take care, enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Keep smiling.